Hello, welcome to the AMTC 2022 interview series. In this episode, I will be speaking with Erhard Brandl from Audi. Hi Erhard, thank you so much for joining us today. I think maybe if we could start with a broader perspective and just ask you about how important it is for the automotive sector to be transitioning fully towards electric vehicles.
Yeah, it is very important, at least for Audi. So if you go one step back, so we are now in one of the biggest transitions in this automotive sector we ever had. So we have the electrification of the cars, the digitalization of our products, of our processes, and we have the sustainability topic. And these are major drivers for this. And Audi has a clear commitment. Our future is battery electric vehicles, so with batteries. And we have a roadmap and we have a big portfolio, and we will increase this portfolio of electrical vehicles. So in 4 years, we will already have more than 20 battery electric vehicles on the market. And since 2026, we will only put all electrical vehicles on the market. So this is a real clear commitment.
That's huge.
That's why it's for us, it's the key element. It's very important for us. And why do we do this? This is our part where we want to reduce the carbon footprint, because the electric drivetrain is the most efficient one. If you look at hydrogen, e-fuels, these are not so efficient, and these energies are needed elsewhere, let's say in the industry or in the heavy loaded mobility. And that's why we go into the battery electrical future. For us, it's a very important step. And last but not least, it's very, very much fun to drive an electric car. Yeah, this is already proven.
Right, okay. Yes, absolutely. I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
But with all of that in mind then, what are the main technologies, in your opinion, that are contributing to these types of vehicles and this huge commitment that you've made?
When you look from our perspective, from a car manufacturer perspective, really a key element is the platform strategy we have in the VW group. This is very important for us to scale it up, to bring such high performance vehicle on the market. So this is our point of view from the technology side. When you look at the customer's perspective, he wants to have premium mobility. So what does it mean? Careless, easy to charge, easy to use. It should be a joyful experience to drive an Audi, of course. And all the technologies which belong to this. So fast charging, charging infrastructure to have,
absolutely.
Plug and play, and also the digital ecosystem. Everyone has one cell phone at least. It should be connected. The navigation should work perfectly. Autonomous driving, all the services which are provided online, they should work. These are the things which we think Audi will keep it to the next level. And these are the main technologies which are important.
So with all of that in mind, in terms of the consumer's focus, if we come back to Audi's focus in terms of developing these vehicles, where do you see additive manufacturing and the whole ecosystem around it fitting into that?
I would not reduce additive manufacturing to some kind of platform strategy or electrification. For us, additive manufacturing is a toolbox. And everywhere where there's a building site, you come with your toolbox, and normally it goes faster and easier. For us, additive manufacturing does solve daily problems in the development of such cars and also in the production. This is our benefit of additive manufacturing.
It's been doing that for a long time. I think one of your colleagues mentioned that you've been using it for over 20 years in that way.
Yeah, for 20 years we started. The first things we were printed were just for demonstration. So yeah, you see these are nice edges and so on. Now we have functional parts, and this is a major goal because we can now print additive manufacture parts in an early stage which have the properties from the later series parts, and therefore we can we can prove the function in a very early stage. And the earlier the stage you prove, the cheaper the whole thing is. So you find bugs in an early adoption, etc.
And that affects the quality
and
as well.
And then affects the quality. The development quality increases. And when you don't have in mind the electrification, what I said. So this is a very big step for us. So in 4 years, we only built fully electrical vehicles, which are new. So this is a big step. And so we have to develop a lot of things the first time.
Yeah.
And we have to optimize a lot of things. And there we have a huge demand in 3D printing, yeah, to help in these things. So to answer your question, we use it in the development phase and also can increase the quality of the product itself.
Okay, do you see a time with the advances with all the different processes for polymers, for metals, ceramics, do you ever see Audi transitioning to more of a, using the AM for manufacturing and production?
The time is not right to have this in a big series. It's just, it's all about money in the end. So currently the price is too high to have high numbers.
Okay.
So it will be a long way in the automotive industry. It will go faster, I think, in the aviation, but in the automotive it will be a long way. However, today we're making also serial parts for some special vehicles, etc., safety vehicles. So we do this to a limited numbers, and this was not that possible 10 years before because the material did not have the quality to use them in the exterior, for example. So there are steps in the way, but it's really a marathon, as we heard today.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will be a long way for the big series.
It's not a 100-meter sprint; it's a marathon.
Yeah,
yes, I think that was the same, wasn't
and
it?
let me add one thing. Mostly we talk about the swap from development to production in additive manufacturing. So this is the main goal, to go in a really serious production. We see, especially in the development, as we have the electrification, digitalization, sustainability, a huge demand in additive manufacturing. This demand is so big. We have to do a lot of consulting from our people, that they know what is possible today and tomorrow, because the market around is so fast, and we have to consult them. And this is a huge demand in this product development phase.
Using different processes, different materials, right across the board.
Yeah.
So as that demand grows then, what support do sectors such as automotive need to advance new applications of the technologies?
As it was said on the stage today several times, you cannot do anything alone. So, and that's why also Audi has very good partnerships with suppliers, for 3D printed parts, but also machine manufacturers. So, and what we see in Germany or in Europe, we have a very strong network. We have a lot of know-how, and we're very proud on that. And we want to keep that. And that's why it's important to also invest in research, like the Bavarian Additive Manufacturing Cluster. When we have the basic research, when we have the good impulses from our researcher, there will also grow this industry. And Audi also needs this industry around Audi, let's say.
It's been a huge theme today, hasn't it? Working together, that nobody can do this alone.
Yeah.
And you're part of this consortium. Is it called a consortium?
We're part of the cluster. Yeah.
That's a very positive thing.
Yeah.
Do you see that growing just in Bavaria, or do you see it going further, wider?
I think this is the starting point in Bavaria, but as they say, it is open. It makes no sense to make a boundary right in the beginning on it, or ever on it. It has to help open doors. So I think it will grow. Maybe there are other centers growing in Germany or in Europe. We will see.
And I think on that note of working together, it would be a really good place to end our discussion. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Rachel. You're welcome.